Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over last week's trades in this episode of Weekly Recap. Now, before I get into the recap, I just want to go over the stats for last week, which I ended up having 16 wins and 6 losses for a win rate of 73.91% for the week. That is below my 80% average I like to get every week. But 7 of those 16 wins were 100% more, so they end up I had a few good runners. So you can go to my Twitter and you can see the timestamps of all the plays I called throughout the week, and you can also see them on Discord in the past alert section. And if you're not in Discord, you can find the link in the video description, and you can find it on social media in the bio section, so you can get there that way. If you're not a subscriber and you're in the room, you should be, because you're gonna miss a lot of these big runners. I catch these runners all the time. This week being my below average week as far as wins and losses. I don't usually in my eyes, below 80% is bad, so to me it wasn't my greatest week. And I got trapped a lot, and we'll go over that when we go over the trades for the week. So we'll start out with let's see. Our first trade of the week was Facebook. I had Facebook calls. Let's get Facebook up. For some reason I've got SPY up, but SPY is the next one, and that was my first loss for the week. But let's see. Yeah, okay. Facebook has just been bleeding every day with all the stuff going on with Trump and censoring and being really just deleting accounts and messages and stuff like that. So I've seen it firsthand just from my wife's perspective. If you're in the room, you know about that. So but anyways, I grabbed it gapped down from Sunday into Monday, and it had me to gap. That was pretty big. I mean, you went from 268 to 270. It's an $8 drop. So I was looking for a reversal, and it dumped really hard into 256 at opens. These opening candles was where I've been getting trapped. But Monday I was smart. I waited it out a little bit. So now I ended up grabbing Facebook 275 calls at 10:06, so it was right in this candle right here. I caught the breakout over here for a push. And it went from 83 cents to $1.16, and that little push right there. Now I could have grabbed it down here, but the problem is you just don't know how far Facebook is going to go, because Facebook where is Monday? Right here. Now let's look at this out on the daily. Now where's Monday? Is this Monday? Or is this Monday? Let's see. Oh, it's Tuesday. This is Monday. See, you do have some support right here, because I was looking at it right around the 260 area, right in here, and there was some support, because you get support here and here and there. So there was an area, but it just fell through it, and you see the bottom of the wick right here, and over here then it had resistance right there. So right in here, this whole area, the 256 area, it acted as resistance, and then it became support, then it's resistance again right here. So it fell through, and that's where it ended up bouncing. But you never know how far it's gonna go. I mean, I was eyeing that if it did drop more, the 200 moving average was right there. So that's what I was looking for, and that's why I didn't jump in it right away, because I don't know how far it's going to go. It could go all the way to 200 moving average on the daily, but it didn't. It reversed. It had a reversal candle right here. Then when it broke over this area right in here, the 261 areas where I ended up getting it. So that ended up working out pretty good. Not the biggest move, but it was still a win overall. Then I had SPY puts at, let's see, 10:49 on the 11th, which is right here. Let's see, 1049. So right when it's pushing down to the moving averages, I grabbed it because it popped up, then it came back down, and it looked like it was gonna fall through right in here, but it didn't. It held and it popped, so it just trapped me. I mean, it did flush a little bit right there, but it got quickly bought up and recovered quickly. And in fact, when I got it here and it went down to the VWAP, I don't even think that the put even went green. I don't remember. Actually, yeah, I did. I sold some at 70, so I did get some out right there, just a little bit. But I held more for a bigger move, but it just quickly reversed, it went against me, and ended up taking a loss on that. So I did sell some at 70 on that drop. But sometimes when, even though it's only a couple candles away and it drops down, because it's expiration day, that they'll end up losing value just in those couple 10-minute candles. And but yeah, I did get out a little bit, but not as much as I was hoping. I was hoping it would come down here to the 277 area or lower, even down here to the 278 area or 378 area and 377 area, but it didn't. It just got quickly reversed, so that was like whatever. Then I ended up going back into Facebook again, but this time I ended up grabbing puts. I grabbed them at let's see, 105 on this day. So what is it? Okay, just make sure I have the right day. 105, which is right here. Now, as you can see, we got it right here. Let's push up, then it pulled back down, and it popped up to this area again. And this whole area of 262, 263 area has been tough for it to get through, because it rejected here, it popped up, and it just started to get rejected. Then it popped really quick, I think, to trap the bulls and get people in there saying, oh, it's going to break out, it's going to make a monster move, and it didn't. It got quickly rejected, and I ended up grabbing it right here in this candle, because as you can see, as it did pop out and get rejected, if you put a little line right there, it's got a descending triangle right here. It's making a U-shaped kind of top. So when I broke through the moving average, the white line, which is the 37 EMA, that's when I ended up grabbing it. So the 247.50 puts I grabbed at 77 cents, and they went to $1.65 in this little drop right there. So they did pay 100%, so they were good if you held all the way through. Now I did grab Target was next. Target had a monster run last week, and I was eyeing it for a reversal. And let's see, this must be, where is the 11th? Right there. It's just been having a monster run. I mean, it just went from 180 to 200, and that was on 200 was on Wednesday. But yeah, I had a monster run up here, and it just started consolidating, and it had this green candle right there, and this had this big red candle, and I got in at 230, which was, I think, this candle right here. I got in right in here. I saw this, I saw this big red candle right here. Then I saw this, and that caught my eye immediately. I was like, because I had it on the charts, just there, so I had it for a reference. And when I glanced over and saw this big red candle, I was like, okay, I'm grabbing it. So as soon as it did finish red, I grabbed the next one, and they went from 96 cents to $1.56, and that's pushed down. So like I said, Target, I was watching all last week, because I was expecting it to pull back, and it did. So now, let's see, what day is this? That's the 11th. That was the day. Yeah. The next one was, let's see, Tuesday. Tuesday was a good day. I had 4 wins and no losses. I had Facebook again. Let's see. The 12th, which is the 12th right here. And as you can see, Facebook just kept, bleeding. So I did grab 270 calls at $1.02 at 9:34 right at open, because it was flat. It was kind of gapping up a little bit, then it dropped a little bit. So I was looking, if it got over this area right here, I'd grab it right at open. Now, Usually the first 10 minutes is really like amateur hour or amateur half an hour or whatever, but that's where you see the most volatility and the most indecision. And I usually stay out. And what ends up happening is that some stocks, they just have a strong opening candle and end up reversing, or they just keep going and going and going and going. And Facebook was just, in my opinion, was primed to make a monster run right here, and I thought it was going to make a big run, and it didn't make the run I was hoping for, but I did grab the calls at $1.02 and went to $1.20, so it was a short little play. Then when it quickly got rejected this area and made this next red candle, when it got below this 256 area, I grabbed the puts. You can't be biased, you can't be one-sided, you got to be able to flip your decision or flip your position really quickly if it doesn't work out or it doesn't go the way you wanted or the setups change. And at this point in time, when I first entered on Tuesday, I was thinking it was going to reverse and make a strong move because it's been down so much. And so I just, okay, it didn't work out. It got rejected, so it fell apart right here. And so I grabbed it right there, the 256 area, and I grabbed the 245 puts at 94 cents, and then went to $2.18. And that was at 9.48, so it was in this candles right here. I waited for it to break this 10-minute candle and below this one, then that's when I grabbed the puts, and then went from 94 cents to 2.18. So that was a 100% win right there if he held all the way through. Then I ended up grabbing FedEx. Now I grabbed FedEx 255 calls on the 12th right here. Now if you swung those calls, they are up huge. So let me back out just a little bit. Okay, I grabbed the FedEx calls at 10:15, which is right here. You know, I know my strategy and my setup so well that I don't even need to look at the real time strips. I can look at the chart and say, okay, I bought right here, because this is where I would normally buy, and this is where I did buy. I grabbed them at 10:15, which is right in this candle, pushed through VWAP, and they went from 72 cents to $1.25. This pushed and ended up coming back and pushing them more through into the RCT trend line, which is where it rejected right there. So it was a good move if he held all the way through. Now I know that Jay in the room, he swung it and he had a really good win on that, so congrats to him on that FedEx swing. So, and that would have been, if he held mine and swung my calls, it would have been good, really done really well and gone well into the money. So that was a good play. So then I had SPY puts at let's see, 10:47. Let's see, make sure I've got the right day here. Now SPY is just channeling and just channeling at this point. I mean, what was it, 380? Okay, this wasn't the dollar range. That was annoying the hell out of me the other day. So I did grab 376 puts at 73 cents at 10:47, which should be right about right. Nope, not right there. 10:47 must have been right there. Yep, right there, because you had it popped up, got rejected. See, right, you can see the resistance right in the 379 to 379.50 to 380 area. This whole area. Now remember, support and resistance is not an exact number. Anyone that says it is an idiot. You shouldn't listen to them. It's an area, not an actual exact number. And when it started to reject this area, I saw this candle, it came back down. Then when it broke below the previous candles right here, I grabbed it, and then it popped up a little bit, and it made a quick reversal. And as long as it stayed under 380, I was fine. I didn't care if it went against me or not, because of this area was pretty big, a pretty big psychological number too. And they just, sometimes market makers, they like to make a quick move down to get the bears in, and then once they suck in all the puts and bear shorts and stuff like that, they'll pop it really quick to get everybody to stop out before they really flush it. It's just another mind game that the market makers like to play, and you got to understand that's what they like to do. Because if you got short right here, everyone stop was going to be right at 379.60, or the high of this candle, which is 379.73, and it got just enough over it to stop people out before they flushed. You got to understand, that's how these market makers play their game. That's how they make their money, and that's how they make people lose. And like I always say, they want your money and they want you to lose, and that's how they do it. Now I ended up swinging let's see, 376 puts at 70 cents, and on that day, but I ended up selling at, where is it, gotta look it up, see what the timestamp was on that. Yeah, 376.70 at 131, which was right here, right in this little push. So I swung over just a little bit of SPY puts in case it gapped down on more drama happening in DC and inauguration and stuff like that. But it didn't work out, so I think I did sell a little bit right here, but the overall position ended up being red, so it didn't quite work out. As you can see, it gapped up, then it gapped down, and it popped. And this just happens a lot, just because it's down a lot during pre-market or overnight. They end up like popping it and reversing like right around 9 o'clock, right before the open. So it gets people out and stuff like that. So that overnight swing was a loss. That was like, I think, loss number 3. I don't remember. I've lost count, but yeah, loss number 3, I think, or 2. Then I had ROKU, 385 puts on ROKU. Now ROKU I had on the 13th. Where's the 13th? Right here. ROKU has just been going on a tear. It just keeps going and going and going. And it's crazy the move that it made. I mean, it went from 320 to 425. I mean, it made a 100-point move in let's see, 1.5 to, I mean, in a week. I made a 100-point move in a week. I mean, that is extremely exaggerated, and I expected to pull back more. So, and it did, but not as much. I mean, this is Friday's close right here. I mean, it should. I think it's going to go down. I think it's got room down to the 200 EMA on the hourly. So, but we'll have to see if it actually does happen. But anyways, getting back to this, I grabbed the 385 puts at 934 right at open. It quickly popped up, and when it got below this area right here to the moving averages and the VWAP, that's where I grabbed the 385 puts, and they went from $1.06 to $1.72 if you held all the way through. This area right here, chop, even though it's working in your favor, and when you're in options, it works against you because the time decay in theta just works over time and chop and just destroys it. So yeah, it could have been if it went all the way down here, straight down, instead of chopping right in this little area, that probably would have been a $2 plus move on that. But theta just kind of killed it a little bit. Then I grabbed Facebook calls again. Oops, I put RB instead of FB. Let's see, the 13th, which is right here. I grabbed 952, I grabbed 260 calls, and right here. Now, as you can see, it flushed down and quickly reversed. I grabbed it right here, the break, and it started to come back down below VWAP. I mean, they get all the bears in, they get all the bulls in, all the longs in on the break, and they bring it down below this candle to get them to stop out. Then they push it up again. So you got to understand that trading is a lot more psychology than it is actually technical analysis. So you got to understand that the market makers are working hard because there's such a huge number of retail traders now that they want to get people stopped out so they can make more money, and they're the real crooks. So yeah, the 260 calls went from $1 to let's see, $1.40 in this little push right here. So then the next one was BA. This was a loss. Now let's see, I think I remember this one right in here. Now BA, it had it like, I got it, what time did I get it? Got it at 10:41, which I believe is right here. 10:41? No. right here. It flushed down really quickly. I wasn't chasing it. Good thing I didn't, because it reversed and it came back down and it went below VWAP. And right here is where I grabbed it, below this candle right here. I could have grabbed it right there too, but I grabbed it right here just to be certain it was going to fall and go back to low of day and break. And then it chopped and just reversed, and that ended up being a loss on that. So that did not work out very well. Then I had Baba calls, and Baba. This was the monster play on Baba, not a Baba. Baba. This is, you're getting the unedited version, so any mistakes or anything stupid I say, you're gonna catch it. So I grabbed Baba 240 calls. I grabbed them at 12.21, which was right here. Now it dropped, it kind of reversed, and I was very hesitant about getting into Baba because Baba just has had so much drama and so much stuff going on, and it popped right here because of I believe the news was that because a few months ago when Baba was trading at 260, the US said that they were gonna remove Baba, or threatening to remove Baba and more Chinese stocks, but they specifically said Alibaba from the stock exchange, and that's when it sent it to the 230s and stuff like that, plus the Jack Ma, the CEO of Alibaba, being missing. But that threat of them being delisted from the stock exchange made it tank. And then this candle right here, they said that Alibaba was safe. They weren't going to remove it from the stock exchange, and they were going to keep it. And right when it popped, I almost chased it. I waited when it started to pull back. That's when I grabbed it, and then it just exploded. And right here, this move right here was off from the not being delisted from the stock exchange, and then right here started to pull back, and this is where they had Alibaba was getting into the electric vehicle sector, so it just exploded. So those calls ended up going from they went 500%. They went from, I think, from 66 cents to 435. Yeah, 435. For some reason I typed it wrong when I post my stats for the day, and that was kind of dumb, but whatever. So yeah, that was just a news event after news event, and now that Baba is going to be relisted or stay listed on the stock exchange and get into the electric vehicle sector, that it's going to end up probably going back to 300 plus. So I mean, it's just going to end up being, just keep buying the dips. Jack Ma, I saw news today that Jack Ma was found, or he was on vacation or something like that. So they say, but who knows what the real truth is, but it doesn't really matter. So the things that brought down Alibaba was the being delisted in Jack Ma's drama, and now that's out of the way. So it's going to end up going back to 260 to 300. So with the electric vehicle expansion, is going to end up doing well. So I think that Baba is going to go well over 300 in the next few months. So we'll just have to see if that actually does happen. Then I end up grabbing SPX at this was the last play on Wednesday, I think. Was Wednesday the 13th? Yeah. Okay, let me bring up Wednesday the 13th. I grabbed SPX 3805 puts at 236. Now 236 is right here. Now as you see, it popped up. It had these couple red candles, and it started to drop below here. This is where I grabbed them. They went from 80 cents to 220, just in that little drop right there. So that worked out really well. Then let's see, I grabbed Facebook on Thursday. That was the first one. I took a loss on the opening on that open. So I was watching Facebook because this was Wednesday's previous high, and then pre-market high was right here. So when it popped above it, I got in right at 9:36, this opening candle. I usually wait out the first 10 minutes, but I really thought this was going to make its monster move, and it didn't. So I grabbed the 260 calls at 85 cents, and then it flushed on me, and I got out and then took a loss on that. So I was very discouraged because I thought that was going to be the break, as you can see right here on the hourly. I'll blow it up on the hourly so you can see. It's coming down. It started to pop here, then it flattened out, and it's kind of making like a little bit of a bottom on the hourly. Then it broke over pre-market high, previous day higher day, so I was like, okay, it's gonna make its big run, and it didn't. It just collapsed. So that kind of sucked. Then I had I grabbed SPY puts. Let's see. Yeah, this is the day that it was ranging in a dollar range. So I ended up playing the range for a small scalp. So I grabbed the 378 puts at 65 cents at 10:36, which is right here. I grabbed that little quick flush. It went from 65 to 80 cents in and out. Then I grabbed them again at 115, which is right here. And I got that little push down to the 200 EMA, and they went from 55 cents to 62 cents. Nothing big, nothing substantial. Then it just popped up again, and it just went sideways. And right here, I got the 378 puts. I played the 378 puts 3 times that day. And I kept playing them because I kept looking. It was in the dollar range, and the dollar range, it keeps pushing and pushing, and it keeps pushing to the lower side of this channel it's in. So the more it tests an area, the higher probability it is it's going to end up breaking. So it did do exactly that. I grabbed the 378 puts for the 3rd time at 2 p.m., which was right, and there was this candle. It was right here. I grabbed them at 57 cents, and they went to $1.38 on that quick push down. So they ended up going 150% on that one. So that was a good play that actually went through. I mean, that day was just very annoying to watch because of the choppiness of that day, but it did end up working out pretty well. So then Friday, did I cover all of Thursday? I had 4 plays. Yeah, Facebook for 3 SPY 3 times. Sure. Then Friday was not the greatest day. Now I had a spread that opened up. I'll bring that up first before I get into the day on Friday. I had a spread I started on the 13th on SPX. Which day is the 13th? Right here. What's the timestamp? It doesn't show the timestamp. Let's see if I can go in the room and see if it shows the room timestamp in the room. It's not. No, well, it was the 13th anyways. Let me bring up my thing so I can see it again. Yeah, okay. I had the February 19th, 2021. I had the 3. I had a debit spread 305, 3705, and the 3700 puts, and I got them at $1.15, at $1.05, and I bought them right here because of the put to call ratio was at all-time highs. I mean, sorry, all-time lows, and I knew that SPY was going to end up just taking a massive dump, and I grabbed them and I ended up selling them for $2. I don't remember what to see if I show the timestamp of when I actually sold and got rid of them. At 10:12, I got rid of them at 10:12, which was in this candle right down in here, right in here. So I sold them at $2. So I know they didn't go in the money. They weren't even close to going in the money. But you know, when you buy something at $1.05 and they're at $2 and you're in 100 contracts and you're up 10K, you take your money. Because going into a long weekend, anything can happen into the long weekend. I had plenty of time. I mean, it could go down lower, but in this market, if you hold too long and try to get greedy, it just you will get slapped. So, and I didn't feel like getting slapped because I had another play that I was in up 10K on it, and I didn't take my money because I was holding for a bigger move, and I lost it all, but it came back. It did recover, and it's still making money. So you gotta understand that when you're up, especially a significant amount like that, you gotta take your money, or at least some of it. And me, I took it. So I'm not gonna be stupid and leave money on the table, because sometimes you get greedy and it just backfires on you. So yeah. So that was the play I swung. Like I said, I could have held on to it longer, but I wasn't leaving money on the table. Then I grabbed the first play of the day on Friday was SPY. Now, even though I had a I had a debit spread on the put side on SPY. It just, to me, it looked like it was gonna pop. It just looked like, because sold off decently on Thursday, then it gapped down. And what usually ends up happening is that when you have a fairly big sell-off and a big gap down, that everyone's thinking puts, and what usually ends up happening is that everybody will jump in and pile in on puts. Then the stock will just pop, and everybody will take a hit on the short side or the put side of the of SPY, and market makers will get everybody thinking it's gonna drop more, and everybody gets short, and they reverse it on everybody, and everyone's scratching their head like, what just happened? And that's what they like to do. And I thought for sure that was what they were gonna do on this day, on Friday, but it didn't quite happen the way I thought it would. I grabbed the 378 calls at 946, which was right here. I literally bought this high for a break over this area right here, the 377.50, and I bought it in a flush, so that just quickly went against me. And I did not have much size because of I've been getting faked out at open and quite a bit this week. So anytime something looks good, it's like it's gonna have continuation or just break out like Facebook. It didn't, and BA, it just didn't. So I went in cautiously optimistic, I guess you could say, that it was going to break out and pop. But luckily, I listened to my gut, and it was I not much of a hit, and it went against me, so I didn't lose any sleep over it. So then the next play was ROKU. Now ROKU, like I keep saying, I was watching that for reversal. I think it's due for a bigger drop. I mean, I think it's really too far extended. I still think it's going to end up going to like the 390, even the 380 area, but we'll have to see what it does next week. But anyways, I had the 410 puts at 79 cents. Now Friday, let's see what the time is first of all. 10:02, which is right here. The break of the previous day candle. Now it's Friday. On Fridays, like expiration days, any expiration day, you make the most money. The risk reward is the greatest. They're riskier to play, but the reward is there. Now, I said in the room when it was up here, if it breaks the previous day close, which is this white line right here, that it was going to flush, and we grabbed it. The 410 puts at 79 cents. Now, I know 410 is out quite a bit, but if this was Monday, we probably would have had to grab like the 390s, the 385s. But 410 was pretty close, and they actually did go in the money. So they went from 79 cents to $4.65 all the way through. So that was a 500% mover on that. So that was a really nice play. If you held all the way through, and the last play of the day and the week was BA. Now, I had BA at what time? 11:11, which is right here, right there. I had the 205 puts 87 cents right here. Now I was looking at it from the point of view, okay, it's kind of making like a little bearish move right here, like a bear flag, a big candle, come back up, and it was going to flush back down. It didn't, ended up chopping, but I got it at I got it right here at 205.60ish area. So all it needs to do is drop 60 cents, and it's going to send them. Now, it chopped and chopped and chopped and chopped, and I believe at this point in time when it was chopping that the value was like at 20 cents or 15 cents. I mean, they lost like 90% of its value. Then it actually came down. Now, towards the end of the day, it just flushed, and I was actually out getting my eyes, an eye exam, getting my eyes checked out, and I set an alert, and I got it to my iPad, and as soon as it broke this level of 205, I had to sell it, because first of all, even though it was a loss, you can't have them settle in the money, or they'll get exercised by your broker. Depending on your broker, some brokers won't exercise it and convert it into shares, and places like E-Trade will convert it into shares even if you don't have the money in your account. So you got to be very, very careful that if you play expiration dates and they go in the money, even though if they're not a win, you got to get out before close, or they're gonna depending on the broker, could exercise them, and you could take a significant hit. So I had that happen before, and I learned my lesson, and so yeah. But when it did finally drop, it did drop to the area I was looking for, and I mean, I got it at like 60 cents. I think it went like the 70 cents. So, they didn't break even or go green. But if this move right here happened, like right here or here, yeah, they would have gone probably 100%. But the chop on Friday's expiration dates just destroyed the position. So, but I wasn't in that much. I was playing with Friday's profits from my SPX and ROKU, so I was up pretty good just on SPX alone. So when I play my spreads, I always go in really, really heavy because I have a really, really high win rate on that. I mean, I win probably 95% of them, and the 5% I lose is because I ran out of time. So yeah, so that was what happened with BA. I mean, I kind of wished it happened back here. It would have been a nice big move, but oh well, it is what it is. Like I said, this week wasn't the greatest, and have to see what happens next week. Now we don't have OPEC. I have to see what is on the docket for, like, see if we have any Fed meetings or anything. Or I know Monday we have off because of Martin Luther King Day. Just trying to see if we have Powell any days. Let's see. We're supposed to have President-elect Biden speak on Wednesday at 11:30. Well, actually, it says tentative, so I actually don't know what the time is. And a couple reports here and there, but nothing. No Powell, no Fed meeting or anything like that. I shouldn't say any random speaking from Powell. So. But yeah, that's gonna do it in this weekly recap. Hopefully this has helped and get you into the mindset of what I'm doing and what I'm looking at and how I'm doing things. And if you're not subscribed and please like the video and subscribe now. And that's gonna do it. And thanks for watching.